So make 2025 your most productive and successful year yet. What a great subject to talk about. But what I will say is success is very subjective. It's very personal, as one of the other speakers have spoke about. It's what you see as success. Now, productivity is another thing that can be subjective. And many people get stuck or misunderstood with they're busy. Now, being productive and busy are very different things. Now, a great one I hear is, you've always heard, well, a lot of people have heard the saying, a busy fool. So many people fill their time with doing stuff that's not really important. So what I'm going to do is try and debunk that. And we talk about things. Now, I'm going to talk about three things today. About dreaming, we all should dream. About planning, we all should plan. And about taking action and having accountability. Now, whether you're employed and you don't have a business, or whether you're a business owner, the two things to think about in 2025 is, one, to be productive and successful for your life in this year is maybe you need to start a business if you haven't got one. And if you've got one, think about growing it. So the first thing I'm going to think about is dream big. If you're looking at starting a business, think about what you want to do and think about how you can make the money and the freedom and everything else that you want in need in your life. Want and need are very different things. A lot of people want things, but they don't need it. So think about what you want, not what you need. So we're going to talk about big dreams. As I said, think about starting your own business. And if you're an existing business owner, why don't you think about growing your business? About stepping away from the running of it to give yourself more time. Now, I talk about time as being the most valuable commodity in the world. It's the one thing we cannot buy back. But we can use our time to make money, which then allows us to live the life we want to live, the life we need to live, and the life we want to enjoy. So dream as big as you can. There's never a dream that is big enough. And if that dream doesn't scare you, it's not big enough. You want to have the biggest dream you want. If you think, I want to make $1 million, well, why not make it 5 million? I want to speak to 100 people. Why not speak to 1,000 people? Think about the biggest thing that scares you that you can and want to achieve. The next thing is think about planning what you do and how you get there. You've set this amazing goal that looks unachievable. So what do? Well, actually, you take it and you break it down into smaller points, smaller tasks. And if that feels big, break it down into even smaller tasks. Why? Because overwhelm will hit you if you have a big goal. And it'll hit you with a piece of 4x2 around the head, put you to the ground and laugh at you. And we don't want that. So we break it down into small, bite-sized chunks. Now, in the military, there's a great saying that every plan, or let me say it, no plan survives its first contact. We're told to plan, but we know that that plan's going to go wrong. But what planning do you do in your life and in your business? Now, people laugh at me because I plan quite a lot. I plan my days, I plan my weeks, I plan my months, and I plan my years ahead of knowing that each one has the ability to change. Now, I actually plan in, and people do take the Michael out of me. I plan in time with my family. Why? Because if I've got a plan and it's there, it gets done. If I don't plan something, well, actually, it might not get done. It's very wishy-washy. I might spend time with them. I might go and start that business. I might. And that, for me, is the start of failure. Now, we all have to fail at something. We all fail at everything. But using that failure to knock us down is not about the problem. It's about the resilience we've got to stand up. When we do fail, it's not about saying, oh, well, it's done, it's gone. It's about standing up and saying, well, if that's the best you can do, I'm going to learn from that, and I'm not going to do the same mistake. I'm going to make a different mistake and a different mistake until you get it right. But the whole thing for me is that it comes back to your plan. You can write a plan and it looks great, it looks pretty. The next section then is to actually take action on that plan. Make sure that you are doing what that plan says. Now, it might sound really strange, but if you don't, there's no action taken, there's no change. And life is about change. In fact, change is the only constant in our life. So let's go back. We want to dream big as you can. Scare yourself in that dream. Plan how you're going to create that dream. Break it down into small, bite-sized tasks so that you know what you're going to do. And then take action on those tasks and plan, knowing that it might not work the first time or even the second time or even the 100th time, but keeping on going and making small adjustments will make a big change. The next pick for me is accountability. If you're going to do something, tell other people that you're going to do it. And it's not to gloat or be big-headed or anything like that. It's about being accountable. You see, we all lie to ourselves, whether we like it or not, whether it's going to the gym, going for a run, starting a business, doing food shopping. I'll do it tomorrow. Okay, it's okay. I'll push it a day. Now, the thing is, we lie to ourselves because we don't hold ourselves accountable enough. And we find it easier to lie to ourselves. But if we've told somebody else, we're going to do something and I'm going to do it tomorrow, what happens? Well, if you don't do it tomorrow, you tell yourself, well, that's not a problem. But when your friend rings up and says, Lee, you said you were going to do this tomorrow. Did you do it? The answer is no. And what does that do? It makes you feel really bad because you said you were going to do something. So we don't want to feel bad. Humans, like the tribes we're in, we want to please people. So all of a sudden we've taken it away from ourselves and we've told somebody else what we're going to do. And that then makes us more accountable. We don't want to let that person down or those people down. So we do it. What does that do? Well, actually, that helps us on our step forward, the next part of the plan. So we've dreamed big. We've planned to the nth degree. And we keep planning and keep planning. As was said before, perfection. People are perfectionists, but that's great for procrastination. And when you procrastinate, you don't do anything. So the whole thing is, even if it's not perfect and you've planned, take action. That action might not work, but you can adjust it. And then find someone you can tell them and ask them to keep you accountable. Because when you're accountable, you will get things done. And as Jim said before, you then become unstoppable. Because every little failure you make, every little error that happens, you learn from them. And you become a better person, a better businessman, a better businesswoman. You become better in life. Now, I talked about success earlier being subjective. Success in the rawest form is about being better at something. Doesn't matter what, but it's being better, not than somebody else, but you being better than you were yesterday, than you were last week or last year. Whether it's in business, whether it's personal, it doesn't really matter. So for me, this is what I talk about with my clients, whether it's in the life coaching or the business mentoring space. It's about taking those plans, making them work, taking action on them, and actually getting someone to hold you accountable. Now, there's many ways to have accountability. As I said, telling someone, create a group, have other people. So there's a group of you that can all hold each other accountable, because it makes everything go so much smoother. Now, all of these things come together as you start moving forward. So, as I've said, the dream, the plan, the take action, and the accountability. Now, there are a few things, along with everything else that the other people have said, that can be used as stepping stones to your success. Now, we'll talk about productivity. As I said before, you can be a busy fool. But however, if you're productive, you free up more time. You focus on bits of work that you've planned, because when you come to your plan, you've blocked out time to do this, that, and whatever. So when you come to doing this, you're working on this wholly. You're keeping focused on this. When you finish this, you can then go to that. And you work on that. And you can work on it wholly, focused, and get it finished. And then you can go to whatever. And you can work on whatever, focused, and get it finished. What you will have done then, using those 3 steps, is actually being productive and not busy, because busy gets distracted. So when you're actually being productive, you're focusing on time, doing time, and the work that you're doing selectively and working on that. Now, that might sound quite strange. I can't multitask. I'm terrible at multitasking. In fact, if I'm talking to someone, I have to write something down, I'll go quiet. But because of that, it allows me to understand the weakness I have, that I have to focus on one thing at a time. And that one thing will get done, and I'll be happy that it's done, and I can move on to the next. So that's a few things that I talk about. Now, I think when I was talking to JB before, we're going to have a bit questions and answers. He had some questions he was thinking about asking me. I'm happy to open that. But if anyone has any questions, stick them in the chat. Be happy to answer.